Hi, this is Purnima Mahalingam, and you're watching video lecture series on power system protection and switchgears. In this topic today, we are going to discuss about topic number 3 of types of faults. Come, let's go into the video. The first thing is fault. What is fault? The fault is it fault or defects that causes the current deviate from its intended path. The current is deviated from its intended path, that is also called as current fault, that create abnormal conditions that reduce the insulation resistance between the conductors and conserve damage to the systems. This power system faults mainly categorized into two types. That is, one is open circuit fault, next one is short circuit fault. So we know that what is fault? Fault when the defector causes the current which is deviated from its intended path, then what happens? When it is deviated from its intended path, it creates the abnormal condition which reduces the insulation resistance between the conductor and the several damages occurs to the systems. Here we have two type. One is open circuit fault, next one is short circuit fault. And the third, here we can see in small process it is, we have the power system fault, we have an open circuit fault and short circuit. So one conductor fault, two conductor fault, three conductor fault, that comes under open circuit fault. We have already discussed in previous classes. And the short circuit fault, we have a symmetrical fault, unsymmetrical fault. Here the symmetrical fault, we have three-phase short circuit fault and three-phase ground fault. And unsymmetrical, we have single phase to ground fault and double line to ground fault and line to line fault. This is the overall structure of a power system fault. Here coming to open circuit fault, what happens here? It is open circuit fault. An open circuit fault is a specific type of fault that occurs when one or two conductors in a series line fault. One of two conductors in series line fault, open circuit fault. In series line fault, because it is sometimes refers to as a series fault. So open circuit fault is also refers to as a series fault. Such faults can significantly impact the system reliability. Here the open circuit fault, again it is categorized into three types. One is one conductor open circuit, two conductor open circuit, three conductor open circuit fault. Here coming to this is, we have seen one conductor open circuit fault, the single phase open conductor fault. So only one phase open circuited, which is occurred, which where the fault may occurs. And this is a two-phase open conductor fault, but two phases are opened. Because of that, the fault may occurs. Here the three phases also opened, but three phases also in a fault conditions. This is what an open circuit fault. Here coming to a short circuit fault, when conductor from different phases, when the conductor from the different phases in contact, it creates short circuit. For different example, the phase A and phase B, which get contact, it is known as the short circuit. It creates a short circuit, which leads to the sudden large current flow which leads to the large current flow in one or two phases of the systems. This kind of short circuit fault occurs in the power lines. We may see, well, because of the wind, what happens, the two phases get contact. What because of that, also we are getting the short circuit fault. Power transformers, power lines, power transformers, and any circuit elements. Short circuit fault, again, it is categorized into two types. We have known that symmetrical or unsymmetrical fault. We can see the short circuit often in home will be feeling that short circuit. And here comes the fault. What happened? The symmetrical fault. The fault that affects all three-phase electrical system is not a symmetrical fault. The fault which occurs all three phases is an symmetrical system. These type of faults remains balanced between balance even after occurs. Even if the fault occurs, it maintains balance. This symmetrical fault usually happen at the generator terminals. This fault in the system can rise due to the arc resistance between conductors and a low footing resistance. And the symmetrical faults again divided into two categories. One is line to line fault. Next one is three-phase line to ground fault. Here coming to the line to line fault, here we can see the three lines So this is a line R, this is line Y, this is line B. So line to line fault. This is a line to line fault. Here we can see the three-phase line to ground, three-phase line to ground fault, etc. Here coming to the unsymmetrical fault, here we have an unsymmetrical fault. You can see it is single line to ground fault, line to line fault, and double line to ground fault. The most common type fault occurs in the most common type of fault occurs in a power system is an unsymmetrical fault. That is not an symmetrical fault. That is an unsymmetrical fault. Here these three faults. So these three faults may occurs in power systems. Now coming to single line to ground fault, we have seen the single line is fault. The fault is ground. A single line to ground fault. This single line to ground. So 70 to 80% of our system for this faults comprise 70 to 80% of power system faults. Here we have an line to line fault. Here we have a line, this line for R and line Y. So we have a fault between the line to line fault is around 15 to 20%. This percentage of fault is around only 15 to 20%. And we have a double line to ground fault. We have seen line R and line Y, and with the double line to ground fault, this fault approximately 10%. It occurs approximately only 10% of faults. Now coming to final, these are the types of faults we have learned: symmetrical fault and asymmetrical fault, and whatever the line to line fault and a line to ground fault and double line to ground fault. Here finally we are summarizing this part. So we can summarize this part. Here it is. We are understanding the power system faults. We have three-phase fault and line to line fault and series open fault, and we have a double line to ground fault and series open fault. These faults and problem solving, what problem is solving is calculate fault current, decide breaking rating, and set the relays and key of protecting designs. So these are the three problem solving, and we have so many faults: three-phase faults, line to line, series open circuit, and one-phase fault is a one-phase contact to the ground, most common type of fault. So one-phase to the ground is the most common type fault, and inverse zero sequence for and ground effects. And we have an examples like insulator line, which insulation line which tests the trees. Here we have three-phase fault when the generator winding fault. These are the things we have learned in this topic. I hope you understood this topic. We'll be meeting in next class. Thank you so much.